couple weeks ago, I turned 26, and in honor for that, I wanted to make a video about things I wish I would have known when I was younger. So let's just dive right into it. Let's start with avoiding worry, anxiety, and questioning life choices. Deciding to follow your heart instead of your logic, mind, and rationality will save you so much mental suffering later. For example, if you're thinking what university degree to pick, what should you study? Study that what you feel like you want to do. Pick the degree that is the closest to your heart. If you decide to go for a university degree that logically makes sense, that is the first step into mental suffering later. Which brings me to my next observation. Panic attacks and anxiety are probably result of you not listening to your heart and intuition. Your body is trying to communicate you with every possible way what you should do, and you're not listening to your body. So the next reaction is your body will turn up the volume. And no, it's not nice music that you're gonna hear. What I mean with this is when you do something that doesn't make you happy, when you're not doing things that you actually want to do, you are putting yourself into the spiral of anxiety and worry and bad feeling. You will feel bad, or even your health can get bad just because you're not doing what you actually want to do, but you're doing something that this may be logically right thing to do. That can really result in psychological problems and physiological as well. No one will do it for you. You have to take responsibility of your own life. If you want something from life, you are the only person who's going to give you that. You need to take action. I just feel like very often we live a life and we're like, oh, I do it later. It's going to come into my life later. Later. What I'm trying to say here is that we don't really realize that the things that we wish that would happen with us in life, so the dreams you dream, the goals you have, the job you want to work, skills you want to have, whatever, it is only going to happen if you do it. It's not gonna just magically appear in your life. You need to make it happen in your life by taking action. This is super simple, but I feel like many of us need to hear this. And with responsibility, I also mean that it is easy to settle for an easier option, because if something is offered for you, but it's not really something that you really want, it's not how you vision your life, but you're just settling for less because it's easier, that is exactly the avoidance of responsibility. Because it's so easy to not be responsible for your life, because we are technically taught all our life not to be responsible for our own life. So it's easy to fall into that pattern to not being responsible for your own life and doing something that is not maybe 100% what you would want to do, but it's just easier because it was offered to you, or it just came into your way, it just happened and you feel comfortable doing it. But it's not necessarily the best option for you. It's just the fact that later in your life you will regret whatever it is that you've been avoiding doing. If you have a dream that you dream about right now in your life, do what you can to fulfill it now. Don't leave it for later. Don't say this to yourself, oh, but in few years I will be ready for it. It will be better timing later. I will do it later. This is again the avoidance of responsibility, and the fact is that that dream is in your head right now for a reason. If it would not be meant to be there, it will not be there. The right time for that dream to be fulfilled is right now. Otherwise, it will not be in your head. Humans' ability to plan and think of future is a curse, because very often we spend too much time worrying about the future rather than living in the now and creating the future. Because in the end, all we really have is now. Nothing else exists. The future only exists in our head. Trying to have everything figured out in your 20s or in your lifetime in general is nonsense. This goes very close with the fact that the human's ability to plan or think of the future is a curse. Because this is exactly why we have this, that we want to have everything figured out for the future. But have you even figured out your today? Have you even thought about what you're gonna eat this evening? So why are you trying to figure out what are you gonna do in 10 years or in 5 years? No, but really, trying to figure out your whole life, think of it strategically, try to figure out all of your next moves and what would be the wisest option to do. It's just way too much worry for you. It adds too much anxiety in your life as well. And obviously, it's good to think about a little bit what kind of lifestyle you want to have and how do you want to live your life. Obviously, be smart with this, but trying to figure out everything and trying to be like the next success in your 20s is just nonsense. There is no need for that. And obviously, partly social media has done its job here because we see all of these successful people on social media, but all we actually see is just the surface. I just feel like social media has created this extreme pressure for us to have it all figured out and be the next success and being the next best person on earth. There's really no need for that. That is just such an extra stress and extra worry to add in your life. You are good as you are on your right path, and everything that happens in your life happens on its right divine timing. There is no need to stress about anything. And wasting your life with putting all this pressure on yourself is such a sad thing to do. The next advice goes for multi-passionate people. If you're multi-passionate, meaning that you have many interests, but at the same time, you don't really know what of those interests to pursue, what do you actually want to do, and what of those interests actually is something you would want to do, the best way to figure it out is by doing, by trying all of your interests. Yes, it might be that it will take you longer to find yourself and come on the right path and then see success in your life, but isn't that so much better than wasting your life in an analysis paralysis? Because the time will pass anyways, but you have two options how the time will pass for you. It can either pass in analysis paralysis, resulting in nothing, or you can spend the time in trial and error but get so much more out of that. It will not be wasted time, because all of that time you spend in trial and error, you spend in getting closer to finding yourself. I used to be so anxious about making the decision, what is it that I actually want to pursue in my life, because I had so many interests. But then some wise person told me that the only way you're gonna figure that out is by trying, by doing. And that was like an aha moment for me that really hit me hard. And after that realization, I just decided to go for something. I just decided to do something, to start somewhere. And slowly, one thing after another, the puzzle started to resolve. And now I know at this moment exactly what I want from life. The next advice is related to external negativity and worry that's caused by external events. You see, you cannot change the world, you cannot affect the things that are going on a bigger scale, but they do affect you. And the more you dedicate time to these things by watching news, reading articles online, or following these events on social media, the more it will eat you. Just notice how watching news, following politics, and all of those things are very often loaded with negative energy. All of this just adds extra worry and stress to your life, which we already have enough as 20 somethings, right? This next advice you've probably heard everywhere, but anything that happens in your life happens for a reason, whether it's good or bad. Everything that you're going through right now in your life, the why you'll understand later. And yes, this is quite a cliche at this point, I would say, but it is just so true. And very often this saying has spiritual things connected to it, but let's just remove all of the spiritual stuff and take a look at this very rationally and logically. If you don't believe into the universe and spiritual stuff, you don't have to. This is very simple. When you are going through something in your life, let's say you are in a relationship and that relationship is super toxic, and you would question yourself, why is this going on in my life? I'm a good person. Why do I have to go through this experience? Then you break up and later you enter a new relationship. But that relationship will be so much better because you had this experience in your life about this bad relationship. First of all, it taught you what kind of partner not to search for. Second, it taught you something about yourself, how to be in a relationship. Maybe you had some negative traits in a relationship and what to not repeat in your next one. And because you had to go through this toxic relationship, you have all of that experience and learnings that you can take with you into your second relationship, so that will be better. And no, there is nothing magical in here. And of course, if you're a spiritual person, you can also add some spiritual meanings, almost like magical meanings, to the saying that everything that happens in your life happens for a reason, because universe or whatever you believe into brings you these experiences to your life so you can reach your true potential. But if you want to look at it just rationally and logically, everything has cause and effect. Alrighty, I already a little bit talked about romantic relationships, but let's talk about it a little bit more. Something I wish I would have known earlier about romantic relationships. First thing, you're not supposed to fix anyone. If it's your job in a relationship to fix someone, then that relationship is not on a good base. It's not starting very good. The good relationship is when you both are whole on your own and then you come together in a relationship. Which brings me to my next observation. A healthy relationship is when you both can do your things, when you both can go after your dreams, work on your dreams, when you both can do what you want to do and still be in a loving, caring, supportive, happy relationship together. This next advice goes for females. One of the most important decisions in your life is the decision of who you decide to spend your life with. This literally defines the quality of your life. You see, you can either spend your life being stress-free and enjoying your life, or you can spend your life teaching someone else how to live the life. Alrighty, let's talk about money. Buying expensive clothing, whether it be branded, luxury, something super good quality, if you cannot afford it twice, and then you're justifying the buying decision with saying that, but I'm going to use it many times, it's for the long term, this is a good item, it's good quality, so I can wear it long term, is not wise. Just don't do it. Because you're probably lying to yourself, because the fact is that you're probably going to get bored with that item in 2 years for sure. For example, I bought this Burberry jacket and I spent my whole salary in it, and it was definitely not a wise thing to do. But at that time, it felt like the best thing to do because obviously it's a nice jacket, but like you just get bored with it after some time. You just want something new. So the justification that I never need another trench again didn't go as planned. Learn about economy and finances, no matter your interests. It's boring, I know, but it is crucial for your survival, the same way as eating healthy or sleeping or having a roof over your head. Social interaction and friendships. Communication is key to everything. Everyone can talk, but not everyone knows how to communicate. This applies to romantic relationships, friendships, and also professional life. Many things you learn about yourself, you learn through interaction with other people, and that's okay. So what I mean with this is that very often when you meet new people, when you go to a new workplace, you have a new manager, whatever it is, these people notice you as a new person and they notice your skills and qualities. And most of the people will tell you that hey, I noticed you're really good at this. Oh, you're a super creative person, or whatever it might be. So through interaction with other people, you also learn about yourself. Because when you're living just with yourself, you get so used to yourself and you don't necessarily always notice something other people notice. And it also goes the other way around. Sometimes other people don't notice what you notice about yourself, obviously. Other people's criticism, bad behavior, or opinions even are just a reflection of the inner world of that person. Just a simple example. Let's say you want to work with social media and you tell this to your friend, and then your friend goes like, oh my god, I could never work with social media. Showing her personal life in social media is so shameful. That is her point of view. That is her cockroaches in her head. That is not at all even close to the fact that it actually is shameful. It is just her point of view, which has also been probably put there by someone else. And also, if someone is rude to you, they are not rude to you, they're just expressing their inner world. Best revenge is just let go and let the world do its thing, because it will do a better job than you will ever. And this tip is for people with social anxiety. If you have a social anxiety and you're meeting new people, just know that these new people you're meeting, they don't know who you are. They don't know how you are. So you can be whoever you want to be. Having a small circle is so much more valuable and at the same time so much less stressful than having plenty of shitty friends. Minimizing your circle can make you so much happier person and can increase the quality of your life so much. You will lose yourself by trying to be liked by everyone. Just be yourself, and those who come around, they'll stick around. Few things that I've learned about health. First is about acne. You can try to fix your acne with antibiotics, but you have the risk of it coming back still. And you know, the side effects from taking it are quite harsh. But there's also a holistic way you can cure acne. But it is more complicated and it requires more time. But if you fix it holistic way, the chances for you to get rid of the acne forever are quite high, and it consists of the combination of the right nutrition, figuring out whether you have any allergies, balancing hormones, and regulating stress. And the next health related tip goes actually to females. The amount of exercise you actually need in order to reach your dream body is quite little. What is far more important is the food you eat, the amount you sleep, the rest, and stress-free life. And next, I'd like to talk a little bit about self-development, things I've learned about self-development. Obviously, there are many, but I'm just going to share few so that this video will still stay quite short. Learning to be alone is so cool. Literally, you can become your own best friend, and there is no better feeling than having that feeling that you can be alone wherever, whenever, and do whatever you want. You literally become your own best friend, and that feeling is so freeing because you don't need nobody. You can be just alone, you can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want, and you're not dependent on other people. For example, I was super young when this was, but I used to be super afraid to go alone anywhere. Not because I was afraid to go somewhere alone, I was afraid that other people will laugh at me, that I'm alone, that I have no friends, that the other people will think that I have no friends, and that's why I'm alone. So I was so afraid, I was ashamed to be alone. But then later, when I grew older, I realized that it is so freaking cool to be able to be alone, because you don't need nobody, you don't need to plan with someone to go somewhere and then have that headache of what time fits you, this doesn't fit me, I'm working this day, or I'm having school, I have homework, I have hobbies. Just learn to be alone and you don't have to listen to all of those excuses, and you can plan your own things. And next, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and challenging your mindset is the best thing you'll ever do for yourself. And lastly, I want to say that 20 years from now, you will wish that you'd have the same energy and health that you have now. So live a little. You are in your prime time to enjoy life, and that's the luxury you can afford only in your 20s. Gain experiences and memories that you will remember with a smile on your face. Be reckless, live a little. The amount of money, fame, the size of the house or Tesla won't put a smile on your face when you're on your deathbed. They simply won't matter at that point anymore. Thank you so much for watching this video. This next video will make you love the low moments of your life. Check it out. Bye bye.